whenever you want.
Yep, will do. Well, I guess we'll just start off right now. So hi, folks. I'm Sylve, co-founder of Briq. So welcome to this little talk for the Matchbox Hackathon. My objective here is to tell you a bit about our experience at the previous .NET Hackathon called DevConnect Hackathon and how exactly it went through. Feel free to ask any questions at any time. I won't bore you with I won't speak for 2 hours. It will be fairly short. But if at any moment you have a question, don't hesitate to interrupt, send me a message directly in the chat, and I'll be happy to answer. So very bombastically, I call this talk "How to Win a Hackathon," and I can only give you a few pointers on how exactly to do this. So first thing I really want to tell you is start with the demo. I know .NET tends to attract extremely technical people, and we always want to build very complex stuff and very geeky stuff. But it's always very difficult when it comes to the demo, where you've written 500 lines of code, and in the end, it's just you press a button, a bunch of stuff happens on the screen, and no one understands what's going on. So I would highly advise should only let people win the hack that attend. Yeah, that's the way it works. How to win a hackathon, and the trick was that you actually had to attend the talk. So start with the demo. So that's something I told the Matchbox team to be clear about what exactly the setup is going to be for the demo, because that's the only thing that you should really care about. You at the DevConnect Hackathon, it was about, I think it was 3 minutes of demo and 2-3 minutes of Q&A. And that's extremely short. That's even shorter than you think. So start with the demo. For us, during DevConnect, what we built was, we had this first idea of session keys. So on .NET, you have something called a construction. You probably heard about that, meaning that every single address in wallet is a smart contract. That means that you can have extremely high programmability at the wallet level, which is super cool. So you can have stuff which allow you to have way better UX for games. Everyone wants to build a game on .NET that is running completely on-chain. The issue is, the more stuff you put on-chain, the more actions the user will actually have to verify on their end with their own keys. Let's say you want to move a character from point A to point B. That's a transaction that you have to sign in broadcast. Then you need to pick up something on the floor. That's another transaction that you have to sign. So the more logic you put on-chain, the more you need your users to actually verify these actions. And that just becomes very cumbersome when you just keep on pressing yes on ArgentX or Bravos or even your hardware wallet. So we wanted to show that you could use a kind of abstraction to build something called a session key. The session key is a way to create a temporary key that is held in your browser and that is only allowed to perform a certain set of actions. This way, your funds are still safe, but you benefit from the better UX of actually not having to manually confirm every single transaction. So you have the way it worked, the way we actually built this thing was in about I think 3 to 4 hours, we were done with that part. The session key was actually working. And then we sat down and we said, well, we actually have nothing to show for it because there's currently no game on .NET that requires that much throughput. Nothing was built there. So we sat there with more or less a finished product, but nothing to show it for, because the demo was going to be, okay, we deployed this wallet and look at that, there's a key in the browser and it can do stuff, but there's nothing to show for it. So in the biggest scope creep in the history of hackathons, we just decided to actually build a game to show this. And that's what the hackathon project ended up being. It's called Stardew Valley. So it's like a little farming game where you just have to walk around and harvest plants. And harvesting plants is actually an on-chain action. And because these plants were just popping up every second, this requires a lot of user actions. So you could actually, this was a way for us to demonstrate what session keys were used for. So the way the demo happened, the actual demo of what we built was, we played the game in slow mode, which required us to verify every single action. So you go over there, you click on a plant, send transaction, then you go to another plant, click on it, send transaction. We did that for like maybe 10, 15 seconds. So people in the jury and the audience very quickly understood that this was bad. And so we were happy to provide them with a solution for this, which was what we had built initially, which is a session key. And with the session key, we went to fast mode, and just clicking on the key, we could see in the background that it was signing the transaction on behalf of the user with the session key that we had created. So I think that was like maybe like the only stroke of genius that we had during the hackathon, was to have a very hands-on demo. Was like, session keys are great, but rather than present this for like 5 slides and explain it, it's always better to show, don't tell. So I think that was like one thing we did very, very well during the hackathon, to really showcase what was going on there. There were other projects that were extremely sophisticated and very complicated. Like I'm thinking about what the Ledger team did. They built like an entire plugin system to have different governance modules at the wallet level. It's super cool, but they had like nothing to show. They didn't even have a front end. So that's about it. During the demo, I would advise you to split it in like 4 sections: what you built, why it matters, demo, and what's next. Just follow these like 4 steps, and that should be very easy. The demo should be probably like half of the demo in itself. So if you have like 4 minutes, should be 2 minutes of demo. Not only because you want to, again, show, don't tell, but also because things are going to go wrong during your demo, probably, if you do it live. So it's always better to just account for that and always be have a bit more leeway. And last thing, don't think you need to tell everything during the demo. What you can rely on is more give a sense of what you've built. But then, like, always bear in mind that there are going to be questions in the end. So you can already prepare slides for this. So when you have someone technical who says, okay, but maybe Gyoza will say, okay, but how exactly did you build this? Like, what kind of code did you write? Have a slide ready for this and answer it during the Q&A. But don't think that you have to go up front and actually tell that during the demo, because you're just going to lose like 1 minute thinking about it, then you kind of lose your train of thought, and you're going to just spend the entire demo explaining what you've built and not even showing it. So yeah, that was a quick, but I don't think I have like the secret recipe on how to exactly do that. So, yeah, maybe last thing, just rehearse probably 10 times your demo until the rest of the team is pretty sure that you've got it to a T. And yeah, that's about that. Any questions?
Don't be shy.
People who ask a lot of questions tend to win hackathons.
I mean, over the people who are going to watch this on replay, you have the chance to be able to ask questions. So yeah, feel free to do.
Yeah, even if you just wanted to bring some ideas on what your demo should be, what exactly you're building, I'm happy to do so right now also. Alrighty, well, there's no other question. I guess I was brilliantly past my talk. So, yeah, feel free to reach out to me on Discord. I think you've got my my handle in the Teams and Mentors Google Sheets. And yeah, happy
Yes,
folks.
Yes, we have everything, so feel free to reach out if necessary. Yeah, I mean, thank you so much for this, Sylve. Super helpful. I mean, super practical. Because it's great to code to do a good job, but you also need to learn how to showcase it. So super cool, super practical. Yeah, thanks a lot.
Cheers, folks. See you soon.